Dealers are in a state of panic as truck inventories continue to soar. Pickups are stacking up on lots across the country, and if you're considering buying one, now might be the perfect time to act. Automakers are eager to move these vehicles, struggling to sell models that just aren't drawing interest. In this video, we'll take a closer look at 7 trucks currently overwhelming dealer lots, and how you can turn this situation to your benefit. The Jeep Gladiator entered the market with big ambitions, combining the iconic off-road abilities of the Jeep Wrangler with the added utility of a pickup truck. It was marketed as the ultimate vehicle for adventure lovers, overlanders, and anyone who craved the freedom of hitting the trails one day and hauling gear the next. On paper, it checked all the right boxes: 4-wheel drive, removable doors and roof, solid axles, high ground clearance, and the classic Jeep styling. It was built to tackle rugged terrain while offering mid-size pickup functionality. At launch, the enthusiasm was real. Buyers were excited, and sales took off as dealerships saw strong demand. But that excitement didn't last. Now, dealerships across the country are packed with unsold Gladiators, many of which have been sitting on lots for months. The truck that once stood for adventure and freedom has become one of the hardest sells in the market. Since 2021, Gladiator sales have dropped by over 50%, a clear sign that the vehicle has lost its spark. It's not just a temporary slump either. This is a steady decline, pointing to deeper issues in its market appeal. Consumers have had time to weigh its pros and cons, and many are deciding it's not worth the price. One major factor holding the Gladiator back is its cost. In the competitive mid-size truck segment, it goes head-to-head with proven models like the Toyota Tacoma, Ford Ranger, and Chevrolet Colorado. These alternatives offer more updated interiors, smoother rides, and often come with a lower price tag. In fact, a fully loaded Tacoma can sometimes cost thousands less than a similarly equipped Gladiator. That price difference is tough to justify, especially with today's high interest rates and tighter personal budgets. Beyond price, the Gladiator also struggles with ride comfort. Its off-road hardware, solid axles, trail tires, and long travel suspension make it excel on dirt but punish drivers on pavement. The ride is rough and bouncy, the steering feels disconnected, and highway drives can be noisy and tiring. For those who need a truck that's both weekend warrior and weekday commuter, the Gladiator often misses the mark. Even with its standout looks and trail-ready credentials, it lacks the comfort and everyday usability many buyers are after. Then there's the issue of practicality. While the Gladiator shines on rugged trails, most truck buyers are looking for something more versatile, something that can tow, carry heavy loads, offer a smooth highway ride, accommodate a family, and double as a comfortable daily commuter. In contrast, the Jeep Gladiator feels more like a niche product than a practical all-rounder. For the average buyer, it just doesn't deliver enough versatility to justify the premium price. The result has been a growing surplus at dealerships, increasing discounts, and a vehicle that once captured attention, now quietly collecting dust. And while the Gladiator stumbles on the road, the next truck can't even seem to find its lane. When Ford introduced the F-150 Lightning, it was hailed as a revolutionary step forward. The concept was bold. Take America's best-selling truck and give it an electric powertrain. With its dual-motor setup, instant torque, quiet ride, and ability to act as a mobile power source, the Lightning aimed to combine traditional truck utility with futuristic innovation. It was supposed to offer the muscle of a full-size pickup with the efficiency and tech of an EV. Early reactions were overwhelmingly positive. Pre-orders surged, media coverage was glowing, and buyers were eager for a truck that could haul loads, tow trailers, and even power a home during an outage. But the excitement didn't last. Now, dealerships across the US are sitting on an increasing number of unsold F-150 Lightnings. Despite the strong start, the truck is quickly becoming one of the most costly miscalculations in recent automotive history. A major problem lies in the truck's real-world electric range. While the advertised range looks impressive, it drops sharply under heavy loads or when towing. Some owners have reported losing more than half of the range when pulling a modest trailer. For those who rely on trucks for work or long-distance travel, this unpredictability introduces serious range anxiety. Needing to stop frequently for charging and finding a fast, compatible charger can turn a productive workday into a logistical nightmare. Then there's the pricing. The F-150. Lightning is anything but cheap. Fully loaded trims can reach over $100,000 before taxes or add-ons. Even with available tax credits and dealership incentives, the high price tag has driven away many would-be buyers, especially when stacked up against traditional gas-powered or hybrid versions of the Ford F-Series, or the far more affordable Ford Maverick. Buyers are beginning to question whether all the advanced tech in the Lightning is really worth the premium price. And that doubt is hitting Ford hard. According to multiple reports, the company is losing up to $2,500 on every Lightning it sells. That staggering loss speaks volumes about how far the project has veered from expectations. In some cases, Ford is even offering financial incentives to dealers just to get the trucks off their hands and onto lots, hoping to avoid a glut of unsold inventory. Resale value is becoming another major red flag. As more electric trucks like the Lightning enter the used market, prices are beginning to fall. Concerns around battery degradation, high repair costs, and software maintenance have many buyers hesitant to take the plunge. For those used to the aches, long-term reliability of traditional trucks, the unknowns surrounding EV ownership are a deal-breaker. Dealers are feeling the squeeze too. Sales staff now have to explain complex incentives, charging logistics, and unfamiliar service protocols, something many showrooms simply aren't equipped to handle. Even with massive price cuts, 0% financing, and generous cashback offers, the Lightning is stuck in limbo. What was meant to be a bold step into the electric future has instead become a cautionary tale about the dangers of hype outpacing practicality. And speaking of tough breaks, just wait until you hear how long this next truck has been collecting dust on dealership lots. When the Nissan Titan rolled onto the scene, it came with high hopes and a clear mission: deliver the muscle and utility of a full-size American pickup, but with Nissan's reputation for reliable Japanese engineering. Its pitch was straightforward. It packed a powerful V8 engine, strong towing performance, and bold looks, all at a price point lower than the established offerings from Ford, GM, and Stellantis. Under the hood, the Titan boasted a 5.6-liter V8 cranking out 400 horsepower and 413 lb-ft of torque, numbers that could easily compete with the top-selling trucks in the country. It had the strength to tow boats, trailers, and job site equipment without breaking a sweat. For buyers wanting raw power without the bells and whistles, it looked like a solid value proposition. Pair that with Nissan's track record for building dependable drivetrains, and the Titan seemed like a logical choice for practical truck shoppers. But in spite of all that, the Titan never managed to carve out a lasting presence in the market. Over the course of its production, the Nissan Titan struggled to build lasting loyalty among American truck buyers, many of whom remain fiercely devoted to their favorite brands. While competitors carved out specific strengths, Ford's F-Series owning the towing category, Ram winning accolades for upscale interiors, and Chevrolet's Silverado delivering reliability with wide customization, the Titan never managed to truly excel in any one area. It wasn't the most powerful, it wasn't the cheapest, and it certainly didn't lead in luxury. Ultimately, it earned the unfortunate title of Jack of all trades, Master of none. That lack of a clear identity proved fatal. Nissan has since ended production of the Titan in the US market, officially discontinuing the model. Yet, despite production stopping, the trucks haven't disappeared. They're sitting unsold on dealership lots around the country. Recent inventory data reveals a troubling picture. Many dealerships currently have around 150 days' worth of Nissan Titan inventory. For context, a healthy level is considered to be between 60 and 90 days. Anything beyond that signals a major issue, and 150 days is nothing short of a crisis. But the problem isn't just overproduction. Buyers are increasingly hesitant to purchase a discontinued model. The most immediate concern is resale value. When a vehicle is no longer in production, its market value tends to drop quickly. On top of that, there's anxiety around future parts, availability, warranty coverage, and access to qualified service. With no future models in the pipeline, the Titan feels like a financial gamble, no matter how steep the discount may be. Once positioned as a practical alternative to pricier domestic rivals, the Titan is now viewed as a cautionary tale in the truck world. It had potential, but it never clicked with the broader market. Today, it stands as a reminder of how quickly Momentum can fade when a vehicle lacks clear direction. From overlooked to obsolete, the Titan is officially stuck. And speaking of vehicles caught in an identity crisis, the next truck may wear a luxury badge. But even that can't hide the trouble it's in. The GMC Sierra 1500 has long been pitched as the upscale cousin to the Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Both trucks are built on the same platform and share many mechanical components, but the Sierra has tried to distinguish itself with premium features and a more refined look. For buyers seeking a balance between rugged utility and executive-level comfort, the GMC Sierra 1500 once looked like the perfect solution. A truck tough enough for a construction site, yet stylish enough to pull up at a valet without turning heads the wrong way. Early on, it carved out a niche with its bold exterior design, a more refined interior than its Chevrolet Silverado sibling, and top-tier trims like the Denali, which were marketed to rival luxury SUVs in terms of tech and comfort. Yet underneath the upscale packaging, it shared the same powertrains, towing capabilities, and chassis as the Silverado. The appeal was simple. Get the same brawn, but dressed up in something more polished. However, that formula isn't hitting like it used. 2. Right now, dealerships across the country are struggling to move Sierra 1500s off their lots. The current inventory is estimated at 116 days worth, a number well beyond the 60 to 90-day window that's considered healthy for vehicle turnover. These trucks are sitting for months, steadily losing value while racking up overhead costs. For dealerships, a big part of the problem is pricing confusion. When shoppers compare the Sierra to the mechanically identical Silverado, they're often left scratching their heads. The Sierra typically commands a premium of several $1,000s, largely for cosmetic upgrades and slightly more upscale materials. But in a market where buyers are increasingly budget-conscious, especially with interest rates still high, that price gap is becoming harder to justify. Many are opting for the Silverado, which now comes with aggressive incentives and value-packed trims that undercut the Sierra's appeal. To make matters worse, the Sierra has fallen behind when it comes to tech and interior innovation. While Ford and Ram have rolled out revamped cabins, next-gen infotainment systems, and cutting-edge driver assistance features, the Sierra has mostly stood still. The interior, once a selling point, now feels dated, especially when compared to what buyers can get elsewhere for the same money. For a truck that's supposed to exude luxury, the experience behind the wheel often doesn't deliver. Dealers are fully aware of the issue, and they're trying everything to reverse the trend. In some markets, you'll find 0% APR, financing, hefty cash rebates, and extended warranties on trims like the Denali or AT4. But even those generous offers haven't sparked much buyer interest. The Sierra 1500, once positioned as the premium pick for truck enthusiasts, is now facing an uphill battle against more compelling competition and a price tag that's proving hard to defend. The real issue haunting the Silverado 1500 isn't its powertrain, towing numbers, or even reliability. It's perception. While it has long been a dependable go-to for work and everyday use, today's truck buyers are demanding more. More tech, more comfort, more design flair. Unfortunately, the Silverado is falling short on all three. Its last major redesign was back in 2019, which in today's fast-moving truck segment feels like a generation ago. Since then, rivals have reimagined what a full-size truck can be, introducing premium interiors, larger and more intuitive displays, and driver assistance, features that feel cutting-edge. By contrast, the Silverado's interior still leans heavily on hard plastics, uninspired layouts, and tech that seems stuck in the past. It doesn't help that the overall driving experience hasn't evolved much either. While the Silverado remains capable on paper, with solid towing, engine variety, and off-road options, those strengths aren't enough when shoppers step into a cabin that looks and feels dated. This growing disconnect between consumer expectations and what the Silverado delivers is now reflected on dealership lots. With over 100,000 units sitting unsold, it's clear this isn't just a hiccup, it's a crisis. Inventory levels this. Highs suggest not only waning demand, but also deep misalignment between what General Motors is building and what buyers actually want. Even aggressive incentives aren't moving the needle. Dealerships have ramped up offers, including low-interest financing, cashback deals, and loyalty bonuses. Yet, trucks still sit. Buyers who might have once been loyal to the Silverado nameplate are now being lured away by more refined, more modern competitors. Ram offers plush interiors with class-leading comfort, while Ford continues to push boundaries with tech-forward features and hybrid options that appeal to a broader range of drivers. Unless GM steps in with a bold redesign or reimagines the Silverado's role in a rapidly evolving market, this once iconic truck risks slipping further behind. The Silverado 1500 may still be tough, but in today's market, toughness alone doesn't cut it. Up next is a truck that promised innovation, but is now fighting for relevance in a shrinking niche. To make matters worse for the Ford F-150, the economic pressures of 2025 have only intensified the shift in buyer behavior. Inflation, rising interest rates, and an increased focus on affordability have all contributed to the erosion of demand for high-priced, full-size pickups. Even with Ford's aggressive financing offers, rebates, and promotional pricing, many consumers are simply opting for smaller, more cost-effective models that better fit their lifestyle and budget. The F-150's traditional strengths, its durability, engine variety, and brand loyalty, still exist, but they're being overshadowed by the truck's bloated feature set and pricing structure. While some buyers appreciate the tech-forward approach, others are left wondering why a pickup truck needs to cost as much as a luxury SUV. This identity crisis is especially apparent when stepping into the showroom. One customer might be looking for a no-nonsense work truck, only to find themselves faced with a wall of options involving hybrid batteries, subscription-based software features, and a price tag that's tens of thousands above what they expected. Meanwhile, another customer, enticed by all the premium bells and whistles, might decide to skip the pickup altogether and go for a fully loaded SUV or electric crossover instead. The F-150 hasn't lost its edge in terms of raw capability, but the buyer landscape around it has changed drastically. Simply put, there are now more choices than ever, and Ford's flagship truck is being squeezed from all directions. Buyers looking for value are heading to the Maverick. Those needing just enough muscle without the full-size footprint are taking the Ranger. And tech-savvy customers interested in electric innovation, they're either hesitant after the Lightning's setbacks, or they're checking out the competition. As Ford navigates this increasingly complicated market, it faces a critical choice: double down on high-tech, full-size trucks, or refocus on affordability and practicality. Either way, the F-150 is at a crossroads, and if Ford doesn't act fast, this legendary nameplate could find itself playing catch-up in a segment it once dominated with ease. Now buckle up, because the next truck tried to do it all. Workhorse, muscle, SUV luxury, and even off-road cred, but ended up spreading itself too thin. Let's talk about the Toyota Tundra. Fuel efficiency continues to be a concern. Even with hybrid versions available, the F-150 still trails behind smaller trucks and crossovers. With gas prices remaining volatile and environmental issues becoming more pressing, many buyers are beginning to question whether they really need such a large vehicle. In response, dealerships nationwide are acting fast, offering steep discounts, stacking rebates, and promoting attractive financing options like 0% interest for qualified buyers. Still, despite these incentives, the trucks are piling up on lots, and the message is starting to come through. The Ford F-150's long-standing reign may be slipping. In fact, perhaps the biggest surprise is that dealers now find themselves stuck with too much inventory. They can't seem to move. In contrast, the Ram 1500 made a name for itself by doing things differently. Rather than focusing solely on brute strength or bare-bones practicality, it stood out as a truck that was equally suited to the job site and the weekend getaway. Its smooth ride, upscale interior materials, and powerful engine lineup drew in buyers who didn't want to choose between performance and comfort. Trims like the Laramie, Longhorn, and Limited push the boundaries of what a full-size pickup could be, offering premium leather seats, wood trim accents, and intuitive infotainment system, and best-in-class ride quality thanks to a unique coil spring rear suspension. It was built to work hard and ride easy, carving out a spot as a luxury truck that didn't forget its utility roots. But despite those strengths, the Ram 1500 is now in a tough spot. Dealers across the US are facing an overwhelming surplus of unsold models. As of early 2025, the average dealership is sitting on about 179 days' worth of Ram 1500 inventory, nearly twice the healthy industry benchmark of 60 to 90 days. In car sales terms, that's not a slowdown, it's a full-blown inventory crisis. The problem stems from an overreaction to post-pandemic trends. After the economic rebound, demand for trucks soared, driven by stimulus money, low interest rates, and a greater need for personal transportation. Automakers, including Stellantis North America, dramatically increased production, expecting the trend to continue. But it didn't. As inflation rose and interest rates jumped, vehicle financing became more expensive, and consumers pulled back. Many chose to keep their current vehicles or downsize to more affordable options. Stellantis didn't slow Ram production quickly enough, and dealerships ended up with far more trucks than they could sell. Eventually, the market shift became undeniable. Ram responded by rolling out incentives, especially on higher-end trims, including markdowns, cashback deals, and extended warranties to reignite buyer interest. Yet in some areas, these deals still don't match what other brands are offering, and dealers are having to become more flexible than ever to close sales. For smart shoppers, though, there's a real opportunity. With dealers under pressure to clear inventory, informed and patient buyers can walk away with a high-end Ram 1500 at a major discount. If you don't mind driving a model that's currently out of favor, this might be one of the best chances in recent memory to land a premium truck at a bargain. So, in the middle of all this upheaval in the truck market, the big question is, if the price is right, which one would you drive? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more no-nonsense coverage of the auto world.